So today we're going to be doing an Obi-Wan Kenobi teaser trailer reaction video. Um, we're going to be doing this one from a Empire viewpoint, which is sort of my bit. Um, we're going to be engaging in a little bit of escapism today to enjoy this trailer, given the tragic events going on in the Ukraine now with the Russian invasion. So if you'll join me for a little bit of entertainment and escapism, we're going to dive right into it, and hopefully you'll see a completely new or maybe a unique point of view. Okay, I'm going to stop it real quick, back it up. All right, so what looks like an old man leading some sort of indigenous pack animal. I believe this is the planet of Tatooine based on how poor the area looks. The people are very destitute. This is very typical of Tatooine. It's very unfortunate, but the Republic absolutely ignored this world, um, and hopefully, with the rise of the Empire, maybe we'll see this people get raised in status a bit.
The fight is done. We lost.
Well, that's an interesting accent. That sounds very Coruscanty. I'm wondering if this gentleman here might have run from the the events following the Clone Wars. Well, this is an interesting bit of um, little slice of life here. I mean, I'm not entirely sure why they would show it to us because it's sort of boring, and the fact that on Tatooine they're so poor, and they have such limited resources that they actually, if you'll believe this, have to resort to farming moisture. This entire farm is set up to farm moisture. It's very unfortunate, but I'm not entirely sure why they're showing us this. This is like the little literal dregs of this galaxy. There's so much more interesting things that we could be seeing. And then we have this zoom in on this poor dirt child. He doesn't seem to understand that this mud hut he's on is not a land speeder or an air speeder at that matter. Um, that's very unfortunate. It seems like the education system on Tatooine might be a little below standard, which would be a good reason for the Empire to come in and maybe raise that.
Stay hidden.
Some weird old man creeping on the child. I don't know what that's about. You did look familiar, though.
The key.
Okay, we're going to stop this for a second and get real. If you're a fan of the EU, the expanded universe, any of the books, the novels, specifically the video games, where we physically see 3D rendered ships over the last 30 years. There was a game series back in the late 90s, well, actually mid 90s. X-Wing, TIE Fighter, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, X-Wing Alliance. All those games took a lot of content from the EU novels and um, Lucasfilm, or well, technically LucasArts' own creations over the years, and fleshed out these space combat simulators with ships. And there were so many over the years that they added. At first, they only had what was in the movies, and then slowly over time, they created these things. There was a vast pool of technology that they could have drawn from, creative wise, especially to help nod toward the old fans. Instead, we get this. It's kind of lazy. It just looks like some sharp shapes with X-wing wings on it. I mean, they could have gone with the escort shuttles from the X-wing Alliance series. They could have gone with Delta class stormtrooper transports. Um, they could have gone with all these other things, but I think what they're trying to do is create a unique styled vehicle because I think what we're about to see is something fun.
To hunting Jedi.
Okay, so this is interesting. This looks a lot like... Boys, boys, boys. I'm trying to do a video, guys. Shh, quiet. This looks interesting. This looks like something out of the game Fallen Order. Guys, guys, I can't do my video. Can you please? Sorry. Anyway, so this looks like the Inquisitors um, sort of home base that was shown in the game Fallen Order, which was one of the more recent games put out that EA had nothing to do with. It was actually quite good. And I'm starting to get, so just kind of looking at this, kind of getting vibes that it's either inspired by or directly connected to that game, because in that game the water planet, or the planet that it was on rather, had water, and the facility was in the water.
This patience. Jedi cannot help what they are.
Interesting. Stop it here. Okay, so it definitely looks like we've got the Inquisitorius and their underground, I don't even know what you call it, home base of operations. But it looks like we've got one of the Inquisitors with his back to us with the silly helmet. I believe he was in Rebels. I feel like I recognize the one to the left, but I'm not putting my finger on it. Got a couple of standard stormtroopers here.
Their compassion.
Okay, so this is interesting. I don't know if we're going to get another shot. I don't know how to back up frame by frame. Can I do... Yeah, here we go. So this is interesting, right? So this appears to be an Imperial Inquisitor. It's got some of the hallmarks of what we've seen from Rebels so far. However, I'm not entirely sure I'm sold on the flexible leather look over, say, hard armor. Because, I don't know, in my head, I don't really feel like leather is an applicable, or leather type armor is applicable for the Star Wars universe. Maybe for accessories, holsters, things like that, but I just don't see anybody designing anything with a flexible armor like that. Anyway.
Leaves a trail.
It looked like another just random moisture farmer. I don't know what that's about. This looks like it might be on Coruscant, but I'm also hoping it could be Nar Shaddaa, because we haven't seen that planet in the new Disney verse, if you will.
The Jedi Code is like an itch.
Okay, so we've got an Imperial officer, looks like an Army officer, a single stack rank bar. That seems to not be exclusively, but seems to be very common early Empire. There's obviously exceptions, because we see double stack rank bars in Rebels, which is about this time frame, maybe even a little earlier. So yeah.
He cannot help it.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I know.
Like an itch.
I don't know why, but I get the sense that that's a character from the Clone Wars, like one of the Jedi. Made the right choice. If so, went over the Empire.
He cannot help it.
Still don't understand what this old man's about.
Where is he?
The Grand Inquisitor. Ah, here we go. Interesting. Alright, so it looks like they went with a sort of soft, flexible leather armor on this guy, too. The other interesting thing is I don't remember those little double bars being light up on his outfit in Rebels. I think he's from Rebels. Hmm. But yeah, if we look at the cityscape, I mean, very cool. Get the sense that it's probably Coruscant, but I feel like it could just as easily be Nar Shaddaa. But I also feel like this is maybe somewhere in the upper levels if it is Coruscant. Doesn't look nearly dirty enough or grungy enough. This old man again. I guess he's integral to the story somehow. I'm not really sure. Hmm. All right. Well, I mean, that's the trailer. It's called Obi-Wan, whatever that means. It's nice to see that they're getting away from doing everything about the the famed Skywalker saga, whatever that means, and seeing a little bit more of the galaxy. Um, so I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait because we get to see um, new stories being told about new people that don't all necessarily have to tie back to the main movies, right? Because we want to see a bigger universe. And I feel like Disney feels like we're big enough, we're adult enough that we don't have to have these little ties into the main movies in order for us to be interested in them. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. So yeah, that's my review. Thanks for watching, guys, and you know, hopefully I can make some more if people like it.